What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. And I'm doing cooking and all that stuff, like I said, and baking. And here's a cream cheese pound cake that I'm gonna make. Cream cheese pound cake. So you're gonna use 1.5 cups of butter, which is equal to 3 sticks of butter. And so you guys, I like using Land of Lakes, and I'm using the unsalted butter. So again, 3 sticks, and you want them, of course, to be room temperature. If you don't make them room temperature, then you can sit them in the microwave for just a few seconds just to make it soft. And so this is some Philadelphia cream cheese. This is a 8-ounce box of the Philadelphia cream cheese. And so that's room temperature as well. That just makes it a lot easier to come out. So I'm just opening that up here, and then I'm going to place it in here into the pan or the bowl or whatever you want to call it, the mixing bowl. So I've got the butter in there, and I've got the cream cheese in there. And so now I'm going to mix this up until it gets kind of creamy. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe if there's some type of cake or dessert that you want me to try out on here. Definitely let me know. Drop it down in the comments below. Send me the recipe and I'll be glad to make it. If you want me to try out one of your recipes. So I'm going to blend that butter and that cream cheese until it gets kind of creamy. So this is my new mixer that my husband bought me. It is so heavy. So now you guys, I'm adding in 3 cups of sugar, and I'm adding it in gradually. So I'm adding it in gradually, as I mentioned, 3 cups of sugar. So you guys, if you want to make it diabetic friendly, you can add that SPLENDA. So that's why I have that SPLENDA pack sitting over there, so you can see what it looks like. Now they do make the SPLENDA where it's granulated, and so it's supposed to mimic regular sugar. So again, I'm pouring this sugar in gradually. But what I noticed, with the SPLENDA, with using SPLENDA for this particular pound cake, is you guys, with this pound cake, using that SPLENDA, it made the cake a little bit more dry. This cake, I've been baking and using this recipe for years on this cake, and it's always very moist and delicious. The SPLENDA, because I wanted to see what it was like making it with the SPLENDA, so that I can let you know. So making this cake with the SPLENDA, it ended up making the cake, it seemed like it made it dry, because this cake recipe is never dry. So, but it did make the consistency of the cake, it was kind of dry to me. And this particular recipe, the cake is never dry. So just bear that in mind. You can make it diabetic friendly if you're diabetic or if you're pre-diabetic. But just bear in mind that the cake is going to be a little bit more dry. And it didn't seem like the cake, like I said, it was just a little bit dry. It wasn't as moist. So you saw me, I just want to give you that little snippet, a tidbit of information about making it with the SPLENDA. I mean, it's still good. It's just a little bit more dry. So I don't know if you want to add maybe like another stick of butter or something to it. Maybe that'll help it. But it did seem a little bit dry. And this cake recipe is never dry. So if you use the regular sugar, the regular 3 cups of sugar, it won't be that way. But if you use the 3 cups of Splenda and you measure the Splenda out the same way that you measure out regular sugar. So you guys saw me. I just want to tell you guys about that. So I added 6 eggs, but 2 at a time. So when you add the eggs, you want to add them in 2 eggs at a time. And these are large eggs that I'm adding in. So this particular cake recipe, it takes 6 eggs. So you guys, you want to mix thoroughly, after each addition of the 2 eggs. Just mix in between. Once you add the 2 eggs, mix after each addition of the 2 eggs until you added the 6 eggs. And again, you can use that Splenda. They have Splenda for baking. I just wanted to sit it right there so you can see it. It's in big packs. They come in all sizes, and you'll see like a picture of a chocolate chip cookies on the bag. That's the Splenda that's made for baking. But again, it makes the cake a little bit dry. So maybe you can add an additional stick of butter to it, when you use Splenda, and maybe that will help. So now you guys, I'm adding the flour. So one thing about this particular recipe is going to take the all-purpose flour. Not the self-rising flour, but the all-purpose. So you're going to use 3 cups of that. And then you're going to add that in gradually too. So you're going to add a little bit in. And then you're going to mix it up some. Then you're going to add some more flour. That's why it's kind of a good idea, you guys. You see how I already have it measured out? I have everything measured out and already in a bowl. So you can just pour it in there. It makes it quicker for you. And so after each addition of adding the flour, you want to go ahead and mix it up some. And so I'm just wiping off my brand new mixer that my husband bought me. So grateful for that. So I'm mixing it up. And so now you guys, I'm getting ready to add my vanilla, and that's going to be the last ingredient. And you saw me shake it up. And then it's going to be 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And that's the last ingredient there. And so I'm going to mix it up again. And you're going to mix it well, you guys. And so now, you guys, my favorite non-stick, even though that's a non-stick bundt pan, my favorite non-stick spray for baking is Baker's Joy. I mean, it's a spray, but it already has like the oil and the flour already in the spray. So you know how they tell you to grease the pans and flour the pans and all of that. And you do all of that. But this Baker's Joy is in a can. You just shake it up well. And then it already has the flour and the oil already in there. So you just shake it up. You just spray your pan and coat it very well. Make sure you get the inside too, the inside right there. The little part in the middle, that section that creates the hole in the pound cake. You want to spray that down really good too. And so here's my batter, and of course it's delicious. And then you guys, I'm just going to put it in the pan, in the bundt pan. I'm going to use my little spatula. I'm trying to put it to where you guys can see it a little bit better. So then you just put the cake batter into the BUNDT pan. It's easier if you just take little bits of it and just place it. And then when you completely fill up the pan and you've emptied the bowl of the batter, you just kind of shake the pan. You know, you tap it down a few times on the counter or your work area. And what that does, that kind of gets the air out of it so it won't have air pockets in the cake. And so this is the finished look when it came out the oven. This is the look after it cooled, and you want it to cool before you take it out of the pan. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.